Welcome to the book reading program of 3ABN Australia Radio. Does your faith need a boost? Do you think that miracles only happened in Bible times? Think again. Compiled by Remnant Publications, the book Get Ready for a Miracle recounts true stories that prove that when we step out in faith, God displays His power in undeniable ways. Here is our reader, Harold Harker.
This story is entitled Miracle on Ice. In my distress, I called upon the Lord and cried out to my God. He heard my voice from His temple, and my cry came before Him, even to His ears. Psalm 18 verse 6. My contract as the principal for an academy in Texas was not renewed at the end of the school year. God had clearly led me there, but now what? Where was God taking me now? I explored options even outside the education system, but wasn't getting any traction. Puzzled and a bit frustrated, I petitioned the Lord for His direction and then surveyed the newspapers. What caught my eye was that there were many ads looking for drivers. That was interesting because, as a little boy, I always wanted to drive a truck. Could this be one of my dreams come true? I completed orientation and training and then received my certification. Picked up by a company, I got my truck and hit the road. I actually enjoyed this hiatus from the office and the classroom environment. The physicality of the work was not hard, but what was difficult was being away from home, my wife, and 2 children weeks at a time. It was the middle of December. The winter had been hard in many parts of the country. Fortunately, my runs were often in the more southern part of the country, so I remained unscathed by frigid temperatures and treacherous road conditions. Then I had an assignment that would take me from Waukesha, Wisconsin to Seattle, Washington. I was carrying a load of steel plates. Altogether, my rig weighed 78,000 pounds, just 2,000 shy of the maximum load. It was Friday, and I was determined to get home to see my family since I had not seen them in 2 weeks. To assure the success of my plan, I took a route on the toll road to go around downtown Austin, Texas. While a little out of the way, I would avoid the heavy bumper-to-bumper traffic on Highway 35 that goes through the city. As I was driving the 40-mile stretch on the toll road, freezing rain began to fall. In my mind, my elementary, inexperienced trucker mind, I said, "Not to worry, I'm in a semi. I am 78,000 pounds. No way am I going to slide. I've got 18 wheels." Nevertheless, the worsening conditions were convincing, and I slowed down. As I approached the ramp to get back on Highway 35, I noted that it was a long and curving ramp, probably 10 to 12 stories high. I was at the entrance of the ramp when my truck began to jackknife. The cab started sliding to the left, and I saw in my mirror that the trailer, weighted with thousands of pounds of steel plates, shifted left, sliding toward the cab like a closing V. In my rear view mirror, another trucker had pulled across the ramp diagonally to stop traffic and prevent access. Along the ramp edge where I was headed, the retaining wall was only about 3 feet high. The sickening realisation hit me. If I hit that wall, I'm going over 10 stories. I cried out, "Lord, save me, save this truck." On my CB, I heard the trucker behind me scream, "Get off that brake!" I screamed back, "I'm not on the brake." He screamed again, "Then get off the gas." "I'm not on the gas." "Well, turn hard to the right." Been there, done that. Still sliding toward the wall, I was overwhelmed with fear and desperation. "Lord, save me." If you know anything about ice, once you start sliding with the kind of weight I was carrying, there is no way I could stop or curve in the direction of the ramp. Praise be to God, I never touched that retaining wall. The Lord brought me around the curve, snapped my truck straight, and I came to a stop at the end of the ramp, safe and alive. My trucker friend screamed again, "You did it, man! You did it!" I screamed back, "It wasn't me, it was the Lord." I am white-knuckled and in awe that the Lord saved me. Suffice it to say, I did not make it home that night. It took me 3 hours to go 20 miles because the ice was so bad. Pulling in at the next truck stop, I was overwhelmed, but this time with gratitude. I do not deserve His mercy, but I am very grateful for it. A reflection with this story comes from Desire of Ages, page 336. There is another spiritual lesson in this miracle of the stilling of the tempest. Every man's experience testifies to the truth of the words of Scripture. The wicked are like the troubled sea when it cannot rest. There is no peace, saith my God to the wicked, Isaiah 57, 20 and 21. Sin has destroyed our peace. While self is unsubdued, we can find no rest. The masterful passions of the heart no human power can control. We are as helpless here as were the disciples to quiet the raging storm. But He who spoke peace to the billows of Galilee has spoken the word of peace for every soul. However fierce the tempest, those who turn to Jesus with the cry, "Lord, save us," will find deliverance. This story, Miracle on Ice, was written by Buford Griffith, principal of the Peterson-Warren Academy, Inkster, Michigan. You can read about it on the website peterson-warren.net.
You've been listening to the book reading program by 3ABN Australia Radio, featuring Get Ready for a Miracle. For more information about this book, visit remnantpublications.com.